All right, now that we're back from that interruption, hello, good morning, good afternoon, whatever you prefer whenever you wake up. We are today going to be talking about AWS Nitro and what that means for us at Sentient. First things first, as I said, thank you so much to Emil for his wonderful presentation on AWS Nitro. Very thankful to have him here, very thankful for him to have presented this. We at Sentient, after this presentation, many of you may have the context, some of you may not. Why am I up here, right? I'm up here because this was presented at DEF CON last year by Himanshu, who's sitting right there in the back of the room, where we were talking about some TE library that we were building. And the truth is, we've been building on AWS Nitro for quite some time because of these amazing guarantees of the system related to the enclaves. In our vision, right, when we talk about Sentient and we talk about loyal AI and when we talk about models, we talk about fingerprinting, we talk about alignment, we talk about making sure that the model works for you. Related to that, we want to talk about trusted execution environments because those allow us to make sure that we build loyal applications that may be AI related, may not be AI related. It's a very strong guarantees provided by the trusted execution environments with the remote attestation guarantees and the way that the root of trust is set up and so on and so forth. What that means is trusted execution environments can work for secure inference, secure fine-tuning, AI agents that don't rug pull you, as many of us might have been. And so when we talk about TEEs, we talk about something that could potentially be in the near future, 5 years, 10 years from now, something that is in the arsenal of any agent builder, any AI builder out there to take their application and be able to securely run it on the cloud or locally, and also guarantee to the end users to tell them, hey, this application is exactly what you'd expect. This application has no tricks. You know exactly what it's going to do and how it does it. So why don't we see it? All this talk about trusted execution environments, but why don't we see it at a non-enterprise level? Why don't the usual builders have it in their toolkit? And the truth is, TEEs and the TE problem is that they're very hard to build with. So let's chat very briefly about why. Trusted execution environments are hard to build with by design. They are a black box. It is a small isolated pocket, a micro VM in the case of AWS Nitro Enclaves, that the whole goal was to make sure that the host is not able to access what's inside, not able to tamper with what's inside, to make sure that the integrity of the enclave is preserved. Similarly, for security reasons, enclaves usually have internet access turned off. And that's something that you have to care about when you want to deploy any regular application on the cloud or locally and give capabilities to your users. Because if there's no internet access, they would not be able to communicate with you in that application. There is also, by design, limited communication between the enclave and the host. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. And finally, there's no persistent file storage, also for security reasons. And so when we think about all of these limitations of TEs, but also all of the benefits, how can we get rid of all this? Right? That's the real question. So let's imagine a framework that is so good that it lets you bypass all these limitations, make up for them, without actually compromising the integrity and security of the enclave itself, to make sure you get all the same security guarantees you were promised in the first place. So let's imagine such a framework. What kind of features should it have? Well, for once, in order to make sure that it's available for non-enterprise users, to make sure it's available for all of you or any other builders who are amateurs, professional, even beginners, somebody at college, to be able to take this and be able to deploy their own TE applications, there needs to be a very simple one-click deployment process to take it and ship it. There needs to be a forward proxy for you to be able to make sure your application can access the internet, and a reverse proxy to make sure that if your application is a service, the external parties are able to then talk to it. More than a limited secure communication between the enclave and the host, and all the fun stuff that follows. The way for you to prove that exactly what's running inside is what you expect, to make sure that what the application is doing is what you expect. Also, those are two different points, right? You want to make sure the app is correct, and you want to make sure that what the app does is correct as it's processing some requests, if it's a service that harnesses and processes and filters a lot of data. Ability to use key storage for all of the amazing attestation guarantees, right? To sign certificates and provide the attestation service. That's a lot of things. So anyways, we built it. We built the Sentient Enclaves framework for all of you and everybody in the world to try and use in beta test right now on our GitHub. Now, this is a beta, okay? This is an early access, but it hits right at the point of those limitations we just discussed. It hits at the limitation that it's very hard to get reproducible builds. We have reproducible builds. It means you give us a Docker file, and byte by byte, exactly what you get in the enclave is exactly what anybody else will be able to deploy on their own machine, on their own EC2 instance with that exact OS. The second thing is we developed a secure local channel implementation with all the buffer level encryption guarantees and all the fun stuff such that you're able to actually control the environment of the enclave without compromising enclave's integrity. And finally, for hosting all of your AI agents and any other services you want to provide securely that may or may not be AI related, we have put and developed a networking stack that includes all of the forward transparent, reverse transparent proxies, all of the port forwarding rules, and everything in between to make sure that we support all of the high-level protocols that enable your applications to communicate as if not inside an enclave while still being secure. So one more time, this library is an amazing effort. To make sure that it's very clear what this is for, we've also provided 3 example applications with it, all on the same repo. We've provided an example AI agent, a fingerprinting server or a fine-tuning server, and an inference server. The AI agent is an agent that is able to do 2 things. It's able to accept secrets from the host and post things on Twitter. And also, every time it posts things on Twitter, it also signs a transaction on the blockchain with its own secret wallet. Talk about unruggable agents. The second example application is a fingerprinting service, or in the general case, a fine-tuning service where you want the data to be secure. So anybody will be able to send out whatever data you want to be fine-tuned into the model to the enclave, and that data will never be seen by neither AWS nor the host of the EC2 instance, providing that as a very clear, secure service. And finally, an inference server, such that when you, as an end user, talk to an inference server that is hosted on AWS Nitro enclaves or some other enclaves, you're able to say, no one sees my input to the LLM, no one sees the output of the LLM besides me and the enclave. And the enclave is invisible to everybody else. So one more time, Sentient Enclave Framework is available for all of you to build all of your non-AI and AI things. We would love for you all to go try it out. Please, if you're here from startups who would be interested in this, talk to your teams, get it out. We would love your feedback because that would be the difference between this being a beta release and this being a production-ready powerhouse for all of us as a crypto community to be able to use and also extend to all other different use cases. With that in mind, if you wanted to build AI agents with this framework, ta-da, we also build another framework that is also accessible on GitHub. So if you want to build your own Twitter agents, Telegram agents, and, well, soon Telegram agents, Discord agents, and other stuff, Sentient is also developing an agent framework for you all to be able to easily deploy, very minimalist, anything that you wish on cloud, on TEE, by combination of these 2 frameworks. Again, as I will mention continuously throughout this conference, if you talk to me, I want to make sure you understand that Sentient is here to empower builders no matter what background. So it's very simple, very straightforward, and everything's very easy to use and understandable. So these are the 2 frameworks that I wanted to chat about today. Huge props to our amazing TE engineers for making the Sentient Enclaves framework possible. Andrew and Shivraj are watching from the camera over there. If you're in frame, you can say hi and wave to them. And then huge props to Christopher, our Sentient fanatic, for leading the development on the Sentient Agent Framework. Thank you, guys. These are the first 2 announcements for today. And then there will be a big 3rd one after lunch. So I hope you all take a good break, and I'll see you then.